Hey guys, welcome to another great episode of the Naruto Breakdown Show. I'm your host, VX Kingpin XV. Today we're going to jump right into it. Today was a good episode. It was a lot of character development, but it was meaningful character development. This was the episode 246, and it was titled The Orange Spark. And it was really good. It started off with a huge bang. It's left off exactly where it left off from last week with Naruto and the process of fighting the Nine-Tailed Fox. And he was going at it. He was doing Sage Mode's Rasengan. He was doing the Rasen Shuriken. I mean, it was pretty epic. It was like, man, he needs to use these beast as jutsus in actual fights, because we never really get to see him use, we never saw him use the Sage Rasengan or the Rasen Shuriken before. It was always seemed smaller. I don't know if it's because he's in the spiritual world where things are just over the top, and because he's just finished releasing the seal on the Nine-Tailed Fox's gate, and they're going toe to toe. I'm talking about blow for blow, and right at the process, he's in the process of pulling out the Nine-Tailed chakra. And here it comes, the evil red chakra trying to consume Naruto with hatred and entering his mind. He's getting bad thoughts and, people disliking him and say, I don't like you, blah, blah, blah. He's starting to remember all the things that make, Naruto potentially a bad person. And Captain Yamato's about to step in. He's got the seal on his hand. He's about to just unleash this shit. It's like, okay, we're going to have to cut this shit short before it gets out of hand. And boom, you see this beautiful little Asian lady with long red hair come out. And Naruto's totally freaked out. He's like, who are you? You must be the actual, remnants of the Nine-Tailed Fox. You have to be evil. She hits Naruto on the head, and comes to find out, before he says anything, it's his mom. He gives her a hug before she even says, I'm your mom. It was a pretty epic moment, because we know nothing about his family other than his dad was the Hokage and his mom had long red hair, and that was stated in the manga back in the day. I thought it was a good episode. I mean, sometimes it's good to have these backstories and give you more emotions behind why you love and like Naruto as a storyline. It wasn't a bad storyline at all. He kind of asked her, I've always wanted to find out what made you and Dad fall in love, kind of thing. She tells her story of her coming into the Leaf Village, and she was technically an outsider, and from the start, his dad really didn't have much to do with her. She was self-motivated, kind of like Naruto, loud, outspoken, say what's on her mind, and from what we could see, she wasn't a terrible fighter. She wasn't a weakling, as Minato has stated. But one time she did get captured by, I think they said the Stone Village. She got captured by the Stone Village, and she tore out pieces of her red hair to leave a trail behind. And at the time, she didn't think anybody was going to come save her, and the person who did come save her was Minato. And I guess he always had a crush on her, but always felt like he couldn't approach her because she was a strong-minded, strong-willed person. And but this time he was like, "Well, you're part of the village, and I came after you, and this, that, and the other." And it doesn't say how old they are. When she gets beat up one at a time, she's not even a genin yet. She's a student. And then when Minato saves her, we can't really tell the age difference, because I don't know if he's supposed to be like tuning, because Shikamaru came with tuning at age 12, or was he a genin? And then I'm thinking, why in the hell is he by himself on a mission? Is this a mission? How did he find out that she was even kidnapped? And how did he take on three other Stone Village with ease? I mean, I know he was supposed to be a prodigy of his time, but there was a lot of questions there. Like, was he just that beastly? Obviously he was. But usually on kidnap missions and of that nature, because she had special chakra, that means she was what you would call high ranking. move towards getting her was the fact that they would probably send at least Chunin and maybe one possible Jonin, but definitely Chunin will be sent on a mission of infiltration to another village. I don't think they wouldn't send a Guinea. Nobody does that unless escorted by a Jonin. And so I'm assuming these three Cloud Ninja village people were Chunin. And Benito took him out without a fucking problem. Like, it was no fucking big deal. So I was kind of saying, okay, maybe he was just beastly. He did become Hokage, so you have to be pretty beastly. So I accepted that. But, you know, and it started the fact of these chains coming out of Naruto. And this is her special chakra that got left behind that his dad put in to Naruto when he was a kid. So one day she could possibly help him. And it kind of ends there. It kind of, because she's like, we're running out of time, and it continues for the next week's episode about, you know, the continuation of Naruto defeating the Nine-Tailed. But it was a good episode. I mean, anybody who can say it wasn't a good episode, explain in the comments below why you feel it wasn't a good episode. I thought it was pretty beastly. I thought it was good backstory. We normally get really boring backstory when they have backstories on certain things, but this is backstory I think people want to know about. You got to see Benito as a kid. You got to see his mom as a kid. You got to see their personalities. Benito seemed more like reserved, not self-conscious, not, you know, he wasn't as outgoing as her, but he completed her. And like Naruto said, you get the red habanero and the yellow flash, and you get the orange spark, hence the name of the show. And it was really cute. Naruto had a vision of what if his hair was red, kind of looked like Sai but with red hair. It was kind of funny, but it was a great episode. I got a couple pictures I'm gonna throw in just from the episode that I took directly from the iPad, and I'm just, you know, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I like these better than the mangas because this to me gives me a full picture of what goes on. I love the mangas, but they're so vague sometimes, and you got to decipher them, and I guess you're supposed to use your imagination. Well, that's great, but sometimes you just want blatant, obvious things to like. But obviously the show does that. So it was a great show. Tell me what you guys think below, because I know we already know, most of us know the storyline, but we don't know what extras that they have written in. We have no idea. I didn't know all this stuff was going to happen, and they were going to go back to the past. Fuck, none of you guys knew. I didn't know. You didn't know. We knew the outcome. We all know the outcome, but we never know the extras. And the extras, come on, they're fucking wonderful. We enjoy them. We like them, and we appreciate them. But that wraps this episode up. I appreciate you guys coming by. Thank you for the new subscribers who jumped on. Thank you for the last comments of the last video. Make sure you guys do the same. Leave comments below. Just because actually I like knowing what other people think. Some people are like, you know, this is the world's greatest. One guy say he loves this shit more than he loves his family. That shit was funny. I mean, I love this shit, but I don't know if I love it more than my family. But anyway, starting next week and every week after, the shows will be coming out earlier. My work schedule has finally changed, so starting on the next one, it's gonna be, I think I'm gonna be working from like 2 to 11 o'clock at night, so I have more than enough time to get this stuff out first thing in the morning. This was obviously late because I came home, watched it, fell asleep with my little girl in the bed, so I was like, fuck it, you know, I'm not really worried about it. This is going to be the last week, it's going to be this late anyway. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember, rate, comment, and subscribe. Say something below what you guys felt about the show, and that's about it. You guys have a good one. Peace. See you next week.